Today we're going to discuss the Trojan horse. I think we're all familiar with that very concept. In essence, what it is pretending to give a gift which results in destruction. We're going to discuss that concept because Israel is on the verge of introducing a bill that will at least identify the Trojan horse. A transparency bill for NGOs. And we must see that Israel's NGOs have had tremendous impact. For example, Ehud Barak promised an NGO, Women in Black, that he would withdraw Israeli forces and stop supporting the Christian forces in southern Lebanon once he came to office. And indeed, within 1 year, he did pull out the troops and Hezbollah stepped into the vacuum. Other NGOs encouraged Arik Sharon to withdraw from Gaza. And he did, and Hamas took over.
كي ترى للموت بابا سترى منا عذابا كي ترى للموت بابا سترى منا عذابا هنا هزمتكم غزة أقوى عياش الشهادة عشاق الزينات قتل المحتلين عبادة هنا صاح الصبح بنا قوموا هنا صاح الصبح بنا قوموا زمن الهزائم قد ولى.
So Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked, who's a very brave minister, very innovative minister, and she wants to make a difference, and I believe she will. The bill that she's introducing is that NGOs, non-governmental organizations, receiving more than half of their funding from foreign governments, now this is key, from foreign governments, must include disclaimers to the effect that in every public statement and communications with the Israeli public officials, that they identify that they are receiving money from a foreign government. Also, the lobbyists for these NGOs who walk the Knesset halls, who meet in government ministries and so on, will now be required to wear an identification tag which will indicate that they are indeed working in hand with a foreign government. The bill for transparency has already been approved by the Ministerial Legislative Committee and has the full support of the coalition. But you can guess who opposes it. The European Union opposes it, stating that it will harm Israel's democracy. We all know why they're saying it, because they are the culprits. The European Union and the states within the European Union have been doling out money to lobby groups in Israel that directly fight against the government and undermine the legitimacy of the Jewish state. There are quite a few of those entities. And we're not talking about minuscule sums. Breaking the Silence, which is sending soldiers across the world to debase Israel. When members of the Israeli armed forces who served with these individuals are categorically denying their allegations. Breaking the Silence received 580,835 euros. B'Tselem, which is constantly attacking Israel, it's the IDF, every institution of the government, 250,000 euros. Rabbis for Human Rights, 197,000 euros. Yesh Din, $196,000 euros. Coalition of Women for Peace, 152,000 euros. Now, let's just stop for a moment. Coalition of Women for Peace.
Norwegians stage yet another protest in solidarity with Gaza. They call Israel a terrorist and say the Norwegian government needs to do more and stop Israel from killing Palestinian children. There is a wide range of participants here, Muslims and non-Muslims, political parties, humanitarian organizations and Palestine activists. The protesters gathered at the east end of the city centre and now they are heading towards the Norwegian parliament where the speakers will put forward their demands.
Sounds grand. It sounds so caring. This is an organization that is supporting wholeheartedly BDS, boycotting, divestment, and sanction of Israel. Left-wing organizations are screaming that they do not want this legislation to pass. Yet democratic countries have legislations that help to protect them, us, from foreign agents and lobbyists. For example, Canada has the federal lobby bill, which is very specific in terms of contact between lobbyists representing foreign interests and elected members of government, opposition, and bureaucrats. The United States has the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Israel must be able to protect itself from the Trojan horse that has been introduced into the country. Imagine if 50% of the budget comes from countries like Norway and Sweden.
Sweden has funded the publication of an anti-Israel booklet titled Colonialism and Apartheid, the Israeli Occupation in Palestine. According to the report, the Swedish government transferred 390,000 shekels, roughly $104,600.
And we know how they're acting on the international scene, that these people have an influence in the Knesset indirectly. Now, they may still have that influence, but everyone will know that these representatives of those organizations are really being controlled and manipulated by foreign governments. There will be a lot of press against Israel, but now you know the truth. Thank you. See you next week.